from a career point of view, what drew you to festival management rather than running a house?
It was accidental. I went in to be a general manager of the Dublin Theatre Festival, and my life was in the theatre, and the theatre festival sort of expanded out into dance and a certain amount of music. So, I mean, it was project. We did a project with E&O of The Diary of One Who Vanished with Ian Bostridge, because the translation was by Seamus Heaney, and so we ended up coming through a theatre wall and into music, and similarly with dance. So it sort of broadened out. So I think, like many people who end up in festivals, it was somewhat accidental. And I actually thought after I'd done Sydney, I thought, that's me done with them. So and then this came along, and I couldn't resist it. So.
What do you see as being the biggest challenge here?
I think, and I'm not just saying it because of this particular conversation, but the biggest challenge is delivering a program in opera which meets the expectation and thirst of the audience, I think, and in some ways that is a financial issue and a structural issue, and we've work to do to make that happen. I think if you look at what we do in the Usher Hall or the Queen's Hall, people would say, well, in terms of an international standard of orchestral programming and recital programming, yeah, you're pretty much there or thereabouts. You could argue the toss on this orchestra or this soloist, but yeah, we understand that this is being done and it's comprehensive enough. We can't provide that in opera at the moment, and this festival was built on a structure which was a visit by Glenburn or Frankfurt or someone who would then, they and others would present 15 nights of opera perhaps over the course of the month, and it's been a while since we've been able to do that. So the biggest challenge, and probably the most exciting part of the job, is to say, okay, well, how do we find different ways, both in terms of presentation and funding and whatever else we need to do, to make opera sit in a more central place within the festival. And that isn't just simply about getting lots more money to do lots more performances, it's also about what we choose to do, how we choose to do it, and how we manage to build the profile of it. It's a profiling issue as well as just a simple programming issue. So I mean that is to my mind the biggest challenge that we have. There are more there are issues around public funding which are having to be faced by everybody over the next few years, and it's a very strange time we live in, because on the one hand public funding is going to go through a very challenging time, and yet on the other hand the economy is recovering. So usually you've both in the gutter, or you've both doing rather well. So on the one hand the public are very engaged and they're buying tickets like they never have before, so we have to work out how we harness that enthusiasm